Hi there, Pisces. Welcome to your end of July 2023 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. So I just want to clarify something. I did not put out a mid-July reading for your sign as well as Aquarius. And that was just due to logistics about filming and things like that. And so for the end of the month series, I have chosen to have you guys go first because of that. And I think that's all. There was something else I wanted to say about that, but I can't think of what it is. So, anyway. Oh, I was going to say in the future, I'll try to be more mindful of not always or a lot of times doing Pisces last. Sometimes it's just like, doing Aries first. It's just something you think about in that sense. Oh, good. You're getting these emotional cards here. And I was thinking, oh, okay, is this going to be just this, you know, Debbie Downer reading? And no, it's actually, there's some good cards here. Okay. So the heart of the matter, I'm going to bring this card up as well. The heart of the matter, so what may be front and center right now is related to the Five of Pentacles. This is a card of feeling financially strapped, maybe having lost your job or, worrying about money for some reason. And there's a sense of poverty consciousness. It's interesting. I just noticed that keyhole in that door. And so I think of that as kind of like a silver lining or something that could open up a new area, but you're kind of worried about it. And, truth be told, sometimes people worry about money even when they have money in the bank. That can be due to maybe past life influence or early childhood trauma around money, that no matter how much the person has, they have a very underactive first chakra where they're always like feeling threatened even when they're not. They don't feel safe. And that's a you problem. You know how they say that's a you problem. That isn't a problem of circumstance. You could have that mentality that is causing that. So, but let's say you did lose your job, and so you're feeling this sense of financial loss or worry. In the past position, we have the Six of Cups, and this is a card of nostalgia, children, the past. And so it's a very interesting thing. This may even relate to something if you were expecting money, perhaps, for some reason from family, and it never materialized, or you're afraid it won't materialize. I think that, to tell you the truth, that could be a indicator of, you, let's say you did have some, you lost hours at work or you lost your job and you're worried about it. The Six of Cups may have been coming in somehow in some symbolism to remind you of your passions when you were younger. Maybe the thing you said you were going to be when you grew up, and now you've grown up and you kind of abandoned that. Usually with a Pisces person, I would think of something connected to the arts. And that's the easiest thing to say, oh gosh, I could never do that. So depending on, what stage of life you're in and what your responsibilities are, there could be times where certain people they can go for it without having to really worry about anything. But if they have that mindset, like for instance, somebody who retires, they may be fearful that they're no longer earning money, like that is their purpose in life, is to earn money, even if they have enough to survive. And there's like this irrational fear around not earning money because the person has identified themselves that way. And yet there's this thing that they really have been wanting to do for the longest time that they have been putting off. And another thing too is maybe children. Maybe you have been felt called to start a family, but you fear that you don't have enough money. And if you are in that situation, I would recommend that you seek out some kind of information about people who are doing that kind of lifestyle where they're really family oriented and they don't have like a ton of money, but they're living a great life. They're living a very rich life that's rich in a different way, because maybe you can downsize. Maybe you're living in an area that is inflated in terms of, real estate costs. Maybe there's so many things you can do. I love those tiny home videos. And some people say, well, I'm going to start a family, but you can do that too. There's so many possibilities, but we have to be open to them. And the higher message is the King of Cups. This can be suggesting that you might be talking over with a counselor or a spiritual advisor, some sort of thing, strategy, or just, letting that person know what you've been going through, and that person can help you deal with the emotions that accompany it. For instance, with the Five of Pentacles, if a person, like for instance, if you're looking for love, because the Six of Cups can be the soulmate, and maybe even, you, especially like Pisces people, can feel like they have this soulmate. That very romantic but very spiritual kind of belief, and not thinking that, oh, this is outlandish for me to believe that I could meet my soulmate. But the fear, the Five of Pentacles, can be like, I don't want to leave my current relationship because then I won't have anyone. If I'm going to make myself available for this so-called soulmate, what if that person never shows up? Then I won't have anyone. But you have to question whether or not you're really feeling good about being in your current relationship. If you're not in a relationship at all, what are the fears? That you will never find anyone? That's lack consciousness. And it only happens when someone feels dependent, like they need somebody to complete them, to fulfill them. If you're looking for a soulmate and you're like kind of good about it either way, then it's not going to be an issue for you. The card that crosses you is the Queen of Swords. This can be, if you're utilizing energy of this, it's perfect for this situation, because Queen can be the water element, but the swords can be detachment. So, urging somebody like you to put logic in front of your emotions, not to become heartless, but to be able to not get carried away with your emotions and allow yourself to be controlled by them. And to be able to think straight so that you're able to make good decisions, because sometimes the Queen of Swords has to make a decision and has been through a lot, and the emotions can really be hard to kind of ignore, which makes sense. I don't believe that we are supposed to ignore our emotions. I simply believe that we have to sometimes transcend them. We know exactly what we're transcending, but we realize that they're not serving us, that and they also can be quite deceptive. They can be based on this programming that has nothing to do with where we're at right now. What's coming in is the wheel, which is the wheel of fortune. This is connected to Jupiter, and it has everything to do with the idea of, it's like a twist of fate. It's like a turn in your life. And life can do that to us. Life can suddenly take a turn for the better. This is in the upright position, so a turn for the better. And maybe you get a job offer. Maybe you get some kind of, as a matter of fact, I'm recording this on the new moon in Cancer. And so that is your 5th house. That can be new love coming into your life, Pisces. But even next month, when we have a new moon in Leo, that for you is the 6th house of work. So that could be a time when you experience some kind of a new job or something along those lines. And that's all it takes, is this thing. And it could even be like this quirky thing that you never expected that it was going to work out that way for you. But how are you, feeling now? Because that is important. If you're down in the dumps, if you are pessimistic, are you really creating an environment for this to come through? Or are you repelling it, in fact? The outcome card, the sun card, is all good things. Love, prosperity, joy, healing, children. We even talked about children. So basically, what I would say too is, if there is someone that is, it could even be like a father figure that is very kind and caring of you, maybe you need to talk to someone, or even a professional, because you may be feeling conflicted emotionally. You may be feeling stuck emotionally, fearful, and the sun awaits you. The sun, the wheel of fortune is like the shift in the winds. And something you think is just going down this negative path, and then all of a sudden something happens. But it's not like I'm sure a lot of Pisces people, and even I think it's human nature, that we want to think it's going to be this magical thing. And yes, of course, there might be divine intervention sometimes, or something that seems very magical that occurs, that comes in and makes everything all better. But I think a lot of times it comes from our change of perspective. Like if we have been in this negative mindset, which I would associate with the 5 of Pentacles, and that we can flip the script. Because to me, the 5 of Pentacles can even be lack of gratitude. You see what you don't have, but you don't see what you do have. So the outcome is the ultimate card of this type of reading, because it's like, even if you have to go through a lot, you're going to get the good stuff at the end. All right, Pisces, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.